Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Resistance. We're going to take a look at a handful of stocks today. The first one being EQR. It's about a 1 million market cap stock with about 3 billion, maybe 3.5 billion SOI shares on issue. So this thing just gapped and rallied quite nice, 34% for the day. And this is the announcement that made it rally. So we have Twiggy Forrester buying a 17% interest in EQR. So here's the announcement if you want to read it. And yeah, so there's a couple of elements to this trade which I thought was quite interesting. So we don't see high share and issue stocks really in this sort of market cap range. At least I don't typically dabble in this kind of stuff, mostly because I don't see it. What usually happens is when a stock goes from, let's say, 100 mil market cap to a billion, they tend to do a consolidation of the shares. So instead of 3 billion, they'll do like a 10 to 1 and there'll be 300 million instead. So they consolidate and it makes it more tradable, easier to trade. There's just less, I guess, less disgusting order book. Plus, you're no longer trading at like 20 cents, you're trading at $2 instead when that happens. So it's more appealing as a stock. So with EQR, there's a few elements that I want to discuss. Firstly, how good is this chart set up? I mean, we've got a rally into a pullback, which is now looking like more like a consolidation. So it's a beautiful, beautiful chart in the last year or so. And this might be the push, the fundamental push to drive it to the upside. It's more of an investment stock, I think, more of a mid-term trading stock, not so much a day trader, though the intention was to day trade it. But there is a rule of thumb that I have, particularly for high SOI stocks. And because I don't see them in this market cap range basically ever, it was, I'm not familiar with it. It's not something I trade. So what I was waiting for was a sell down on Match, because this is what happens when you have a sub 100 mil market cap company with 3 billion shares on issue, or 2.5 plus is generally the rule, is you typically see a gap up and then a sell down. And then if the news is good enough, it will rally looks more like this, rallies over time. It's very slow, steady, because that order book, it's just so thick on either side. You've got millions of shares. It takes a long time to churn through. And that's just the nature of high SOI stocks. That's why low share and issue stocks can really rally hard and fast. So that's sort of the explanation there. But in this case, it just gapped and rallied. And it's something you don't typically see very often. I mean, I say that even, if a company, a Biomed, for example, has a 3 billion shares on issue and it cures cancer, it's going to gap up and still sell down on Match and then rally if it's good enough. So that's kind of what usually happens. But in this case, gap and rally, and didn't get a piece of it because I was sticking to that playbook trade of the news is good, but there are better entries. And I guess in this case, there needs to be an adjustment made for, I guess, maybe stocks over 500 million. And I think a large part of that, now that I think about it, because I never really have to think about why it happens. Obviously, it's an order book thing, the number of shares, yada, yada, yada. But another factor of this could be the type of buying involved. Maybe it's more institutional. Maybe it's more sophisticated buying happening rather than just retailers, of course. So that's something that I never really considered before, but something worth taking into consideration in the future. Not that we'll really see many high share and issue stocks. I mean, they just consolidate and trade better they just trade better when they consolidate. So that's why you don't really see high share and issue stocks at this market cap. So we also have all the lithium stocks dead, just dead in the water. So I ended up cutting everything once it started selling down, and as it was coming off, I mean, we're looking at probably from 1.5% when it was at negative 1.5 and selling down. I just decided to cut everything. I thought, nope, this is dead. And the afternoon was not any better. I mean, we hit almost negative 6.8% for the day for lithium spot price, which is absolutely horrific. This is what it looks like on the last 5 days. Let me just load it up. Yeah, so the last 5 days is just completely broken down. We've got the daily chart here, the line chart, and then the daily chart. So it's completely broken below this 145k level on the CNY. Yeah, its spot looks rough. Plus, we got the lithium ETF, which doesn't help, but it did look good on Friday. And when I say good, what I really mean is it's gapped down a bit and then rallied. and then kind of it was only down, what was it, 0.6%? Yeah, 0.6, so not much. While Lithium was looking healthy-ish, and now it's just completely puked it. So we have Vulcan. This one, oddly enough, didn't do a whole lot. Still cut it. Just it's broken completely. This was the hope. This was the add-on. And mind you, we were buying here anyway, so it's not like we took a big L on this, because like I said, when this sold down, I think it was 270 something, we took a bit off, came off, added back on. So I mean, we might have lost 1% or 2, not even 2, less than 1% overall. Plus we did lock some in, so it's probably green overall, honestly, but we'll just call it break even because it doesn't really matter. It just didn't do too much. And LTR, this was quite interesting. We picked this up in the morning, and yeah, we picked it up, sold it for a few cents, nothing crazy, just a little bit of a DT on it, and then it just came off hard. So as it was coming off, I mean, I think we got 134 and higher is when we sold out our swing position, as there was a bit of a delayed reaction as this was coming off. So there's a 2-hour time difference. So we open up at 11 a.m. on spot, and this is China at 9 a.m. here. So it was around 1.5 at around 11:40. So whatever was around 11:40, yeah, 135. So very slow reaction by the ASX stocks, as you'll see based on what was happening on spot. There's just so much time to react, but there wasn't I didn't open a short, as nice as that would have been. I mean, holy shit, that would have been a gorgeous short. 5.6 for the day is sensational. But yeah, so this is why we don't take much punishment, because the ASX takes forever to respond to what's clearly coming down pretty sharp. I mean, when's it really start kicking in? So VWAP breaks at 11:47. So basically, it's trading at negative 2.4 on spot by the time this really starts to react at all. I mean, there is so much time to react to what's happening. And yeah, it just constantly surprises me, I guess, that people are so slow to react to what's happening. But it is what it is. So we've got IGO as well. Got out of this one around the same time. Again, this one probably reacted a little bit faster, but VWAP broke, and it's just like, all right, let's cut. And yeah, just doesn't look healthy at all. Vulcan, I don't think, if I recall, is kind of just gone sideways. Yeah, sideways all day, so nothing too exciting there. Vulcan does have the best daily chart at the moment. Not that I would, I might have actually probably should have considered holding this one. I mean, just because 267 hasn't broken, but I'm just not crash hot on spot after this. I mean, a 7% day down is brutal for any commodity. So that's pretty much what's happening. We're all out of swings. We're all out of ideas. We're holding basically nothing at this point. There's just nothing to trade. I mean, looked at some setups. There's like maybe around 60, 70 stocks today. Had a look. All the bullish setups are just looking lackluster. They're all pulling back. And then they're far away from support, so there's no like dip buy opportunities that I'm looking at. Speckies, nothing there either. I mean, God, the XEC looks rough on Friday, 4% down. So, I mean, speckies aren't doing anything either. We had this period of time where it was consolidating for like 3 years, and then it broke out from August, September, October. So we had 2 months of a really good bull run last year. Pullback, and then another really good run for a month or two. I mean, that's just how our speckies are going at the moment. So there's nothing really in spec land worth trading. Intraday, it's a bit so-so in terms of liquidity and volatility. I'm not finding too much in the spec space. We are holding support here. I don't really check out XEC that often, but it's nice to see it's holding support. But God, we'll see. I mean, if this starts breaking down, then geez, it's going to be a while before our speckies will pick up anytime soon. So at this point, the plan really is to sit on our hands. Don't expect me to upload anything too much today unless there's some awesome news announcements to trade intraday. Swing wise, nothing, dead in the water at the moment. Day trade wise, very quiet because it's June and July. These are just the quietest months, quite simply. It's just a cyclical thing. We also have earnings next month, so things are going to be way more interesting during earnings season. So at this point in time, it's going to be quiet. You know, if I don't take anything, I'm not going to upload anything. So that's just how it is. All right, guys, hopefully we see something better tomorrow. Peace.